Landomy is a gorgeously produced two-player abstract strategy game. Take a look. In this game, you are trying to control the most areas at the end of the game when all the cards have been played, or if at the beginning of your turn you control two more than someone else. Real quick issue on the components here. I want to show you these are these white X's that are various heights that you have to snap into place. And then these boards magnetically fit on top of them. And then you have the two different color ships. There's also these domes here. There's a deck of maps. Two of them will be face up on your turn. And you're going to pick one of these maps and you're going to place it next to any open spot on the board. There's 12 of them at the beginning of the game. That will change. When you point to a map, the three white squares that are on the card that you played are showing the three squares that you're dealing with. The actions that you're doing will refer to the tile that you're pointing to. So every card's the same way. This one says the active player takes the black action, which is adding a ship. So if I'm the purple player, I'll add a ship here. I'm picking one of these three spots. Then the other player picks the white action, so they also add a ship, and they have to pick one of the two squares I didn't. Well, they can't add one here because there's a shield, so they add one here, which kills a purple, and those go away. And then the player whose turn it is goes in the last spot, and they just simply add a ship no matter what the actions are. And they can't do that, so nothing happens. Some of the actions are moving these, which will protect you and can also push somebody away to an adjacent spot. Sometimes you can move ships on these up here. And that's the game. Once the card's been laid, the card has been played. And so you'll be slowly playing cards, doing the different actions until you either run out of cards and someone wins, or, like I said, at the beginning of a turn, someone controls two more spots. And you use these cubes over here to keep track of who has spots. If there's a tie, whoever controls the center spot wins. Oh my word. Those X's, the magnets, the pieces. It's gorgeous. Well, the map cards aren't. But everything else is gorgeous. For a very tiny game. This game is so small. You play a card down. I take an action. You take an action. I add a ship. That's it. And you do that 7, 8 times. Someone finally wins. But they win with a whimper. I'm like, okay. Well, we both go for the center area because we know it breaks ties. So no one controls that. And then I control one over here and then the tiebreaker. It's yawn-inducing. There's like, I know that they thought it was clever. Like, play the card here. And then that activates 3 squares. And I pick one first. Then you pick the second. And then I do the third. And all that sounds clever. But is it fun? That's the point. And I don't think it's fun. I don't think Landomy is that fun. It looks great. The little shields on top. But what are the actions? The actions are add a ship, move the shield, and that's pretty much it. That's the actions? They're like, but the advanced game, you can mix up the... This one is a huge disappointment for me. I don't even know that it's necessarily a bad game, as it is just a very, very, very dull one. And so, I like two-player abstract games. Don't get me wrong. I don't care about the lack of theme. I don't care about any of that, but I want my moves to be interesting. And this one, the game gets less interesting as you play. You're tied to the 2 cards that show up. I just don't like it at all. So 5 out of 10, Landomy.